Hi and welcome to October's thank you video. I'm so sorry, I've got so far behind on doing this video for you guys. So this is a video thank you if you shopped with me in October, or if you were in my team, or if you supported my channel. So thank you so much. I have Nature's Harvest here. This is a stamp set still available in the mini catalogue throughout December, and yeah, go get it if you love it. So I've stamped this image 4 times onto some shimmer white cardstock, and my aim is to show at least 2 different ways of colouring this image in, and possibly more depending how into this I get. So the first idea I had for this was to use some re-inkers and use my water brush or even my spritzer and just get some water down on here and have some fun playing with moving some water around on there. So I've got, as I said, my re-inkers here. These are the Regals. Now if you don't have re-inkers, what you can do is just get your ink pad and squish it onto a waterproof block, you know, something waterproof, and that will work. So I'm wondering about going a little bit autumnally, so to get a bit of pumpkin pie on there. Bit of, I think this is Old Olive. Have a check. Yes, Old Olive. Maybe a bit of crushed curry. And maybe something a little bit darker. We'll go for a bit of Blackberry Bliss somewhere. There we go. And I'm going to grab my water brush here. So this is quite handy. This you can put water into the barrel, and it means then you've got water there, or you can just dip it into, oh actually I have got a glass of water here. That's probably going to be easier. Well, let me see if I can put a little bit of water into this just to help me along. There we go. Get the right. Now remember to, when you go to put this back onto the barrel, you have to twist it in the opposite direction. Oh dear, right, okay, so I already had some water. I dropped some water on there and thought, oh, I'll just mix that in, but I've already had blue on this pen, on this brush. Never mind, we'll keep going. Right, let's get a bit of yellow there. So these flowers, I think they're supposed to be like echinacea, but I guess depending what colour you choose to colour it in, it will be whatever you want it to be. It's kind of like a nice daisy-like style flower. So I'm just grabbing that bit of crushed curry there and applying it around the petals. Now I'm saying around the petals because, look, I'm going outside of it a little bit, but that's okay, because I want it to be a kind of bit of a watercolor effect. I don't want it to be really strictly kind of yeah, have to worry about it too much. I might on the next one be a little bit more careful, but I'm just adding a little bit more water to move that around on the head of the flower. Maybe pull some of that colour down there like that as well. This stamp is so detailed and pretty that I just thought it probably doesn't need a lot of fiddling with it really to show it off. So here I am with this is the Old Olive, and because I've already heat embossed this image, the colour tends to, as long as you don't go out the lines too much, tends to stay within the confines of where you've heat embossed. A bit like if you're doing silk painting and you're using gutta or gutter. It just creates a barrier, you know, like you would do if you're doing batik or that kind of thing. So very quickly, there we go. We have a very sweet, delicate kind of watercolor effect there without too much effort. And I would let that dry. I might just add a little bit more blue just to the edges there. Shall I? I was going to go for a blue. Actually, there isn't really a blue in the Regal set. I've just realised it's in the neutrals, all the subtles. I'll just grab a little bit of balmy blue and do a little bit more to my background here, because I accidentally got that all on there earlier. So I'll just put a little bit there, here and there. Oh, look. See, that's helpful when you've got a load of water, because it just spreads naturally. I might just do that. A bit more water. There we go. Now, because I'm using the shimmer white cardstock, it doesn't behave exactly like watercolour paper. Okay, so if you're expecting it to do that, don't, because it won't. However, you've got a bit of time and you've got a bit of give with it, in that it kind of, the water sits on top for a little while before soaking in. So if you want to do some watercolour techniques where you're kind of spreading water around, look, if you just add loads of water around here, you can then go in with a little bit of more blue and add it, and it automatically will spread around for you. So that's the way to get colours to kind of spread and do their thing. Just add water first, and then it will happily spread into the crevices. There we go. See, look, I'm adding that blue, and because I already added that water, it's quite happy to move around. A bit more water there. Right, I'm thinking with my second one, as I said, because I made a bit of that I made a bit of a boo-boo really adding that blue to start off with. There we go. I'm wondering, with this one, let's just spritz it to start off with, just to get a little layer of water down. She says let me spritz it, and then I can't find any water. Oh, a little bit left in there. Okay. Right, a bit more water. So I'm just going to spritz this all over to put a kind of fine mist of water all over that. Just clean out my brush so that I definitely have not got any blue on here now. And add, or maybe a bit of orange and yellow this time, to my flowers. Ooh, they're really wanting to spread. Okay, fine, if you want to do that. I'm going to come back in again though with some other colours. Alright, you know what, I'm just going to go orange all over the place now. Okay, fine if you want to behave like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to add in the green. Oh, and that's going everywhere. Woohoo! Look at that. Well, I actually quite like that. There's me going, oh, I'll be really careful this time. No, the ink had other plans. I wanted to do something different. So the Blackberry Bliss doesn't really want to spread too much, but there we go. Right, now the other idea was I wanted to come down, do some colour down on the borders of this card. That I've actually pre-cut it so that I can just mount it directly onto a piece of cardstock. Ooh, I quite like that. I like how this is sort of spread upwards. Ooh, this is super fun. Just going to add a little bit more yellow in there, like so. Shall we go for a bit of the balmy blue? Let's see what happens. Add a bit more water there. Let's do a bit more of a water wash. And add, ooh, hey, that's fun. So maybe I should have spritzed a little bit more. Let's go carefully around this edge here, just to help identify the edge of the flower. Now when you're doing this kind of thing, you have to not to be too precious about the results and just enjoy the surprises that happen along the way, really. Because that one's a bit more vibrant than... Oh, I managed to get ink on there. Oops. Don't know how that happened. Let's see if I can wash that out a bit. I must have flicked my brush up as I was doing this one. It was a bit too exuberant. Put a bit more orange there. There we go. Add a bit more there. Right, maybe a little bit more green to these leaves here. There we go. Up we go. Okay, that's fun. Right. Let's think of another way to decorate this. So I'm wondering if I go in a little bit more carefully this time. I'll just add some water to this orange so that it spreads nicely. But this time I'm going to be a bit more careful just to colour in these with a bit more care, so that the colour stays, you see that, so the colour stays within the confines of the flower. It's not as exciting though, I have to say. I like it when you're not quite sure if it's going to come out the lines, you know, live dangerously and all that. Just add a bit of Blackberry Bliss just to the top of the flower there, just to add a bit of darkness. Be a bit more careful over here. Now I did also want to come on and add some stamping, because obviously there are more images in this stamp set than just the one I'm showing you here. Ooh, went out the border then. Ooh. And I wanted to add some stamping just to see what would happen. Okay, so there's this fabulous kind of mottled, it can be what you want type stamp, and I'm wondering if I spritz this now with a little bit of water, get it some of these colours moving around a bit more. Okay, how funny would it be, let's just move that about a bit, if we then use this as a bit of a watery stamp pad and just pick up some colour there and use that to create a bit of a border. There we go, around my picture there. Now you have to try not to let the colours merge too much, otherwise you just end up with a bit of a browny mess. There we go. That's quite fun. Now I'm going to spray again. Ooh, see a bit more movement of colour there. And then I'm going to come back in with the blue just to create a bit of a bluey background then for my flowers. So similar to what I've done already, but just slightly different technique. Paint first, then stamp, then more water, then add more ink. So there we go. Obviously very much watercolour-y vibe to it, but then getting this kind of mottled effect without really having to try too hard around the edges. Quite like that. Just add a bit more green to this. Darken this bit up a bit more. Oop, there we go. Oh well, spread a little bit, but never mind. Right, okay, there we have it. Right, that's 3 different techniques. I think what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of heat to this, and then I'll come back once it's a bit drier. Now this one's ended up with a few little splats on it, and it's just reminded me actually it might be quite fun to put a few splats on here. So I'm just grabbing some purple from my makeshift ink pad and just adding a few speckles there, make it look a bit more grungy. Right, there we go. So that one's a little bit drier. And those are my 3 watercolour style images using the main floral from Nature's Harvest. Okay, now I'm going to be using this a little bit more on my channel, but I thought it would be nice for you to see me. This is my first play ever with this stamp set. So there you have it. Right, thank you so much once again for all your support to my channel, to my team, and as a customer. And we'll see you again, or I'll see you again soon, I hope. Take care for now. Bye.